Hey everybody, I'm Tim here with the Southern Draw Manzanita Toro, and you're watching Cigars Daily. Imagine going out to buy a nice meal, and the waiter tells you, yes, you'll enjoy what you've selected off the menu, we're just not going to tell you what's in it. Would you be super excited about it? Probably not in a restaurant, but truly in the cigar world, when that kind of stuff happens, people get kind of stoked. And that's sort of the case here with the Manzanita. This thing uses a Habano hybrid wrapper leaf on the outside that's got an undisclosed nature to it. They just don't tell us a lot about it. But the origin of this cigar comes from the word Manzanita, which translates apple, because this cigar comes with this reddish hue, sort of like the Manzanita tree in Latin America. Now, the big deal with this bad boy right here is that Southern Draws released it in the last year to massive accolades, people falling in love with it. But here's the big thing. This is $14 a piece. That's quite a bit. I've also reviewed the Robusto on this channel, and today my goal is to see what this Toro has to offer. In my general experience over the last couple years, I've felt like the Toro size gives a little more presence and body and volume than the Robusto, which can, I think in a general sense, have a little bit sharper of a flavor, and I don't know exactly why that is, but I want to see if that carries over here. So my question is, can this present a better flavor than the Robusto and be worth its own $14 shelf price? And the only way to find out is with a cut and a light. First impressions mean a whole lot, and right here at Light Up, this kicks off as a very woody cigar. And before I go on, I've not gone back to watch my Robusto review. I really just want to give you my best impressions of this and check on it later to see how it compares, so I won't give you a lot of notes. But as far as this by itself, right up front, woodsy. Nice cedar kicks this thing off with this really nice, bright, fruity sweetness to it. It's a very interesting contrast from cedar out the gate. White pepper on the retrohale, nothing substantial there. But overall, for what is a pretty simple startup profile, it's an interesting one with those two diverse notes. Let's jump into the first third, see where this takes us. Now we're talking. This thing really got some great life in the first third. Now, it didn't count great for consistency at Light Up. I could have gotten a little bit more out of it. It was a decent profile, a starter profile, if you will. Now the life is put into this. Citrus falls away really quickly in the way that a lot of pepper really does. Like, there was really just this bright sweetness up front, and there's still sweetness in this. It's just not citrusy. At this point, that cedar is in there, but also leather joins the mix. Cinnamon in nice balance with leather, so stouter leather flavor and a little bit more of a, delicate cinnamon flavor with a really just a hint of vanilla in this. I wish I could get more out of that, out of this cigar of that note, but in the second, third, anything's possible. We typically see the best balance there, but for a first, third flavor profile, this thing is now delivering in the way that I had hoped that it would. And so let's jump into the second, third, and see where this takes us. In the second third, as expected, that apex, that ultimate balance is coming through. And what I really wanted is what I'm getting here, which is more vanilla, but really not on the tongue, really not in the mouth. Like through the retrohale, that vanilla note comes through more, which is interesting because I usually find these things on the tongue, but still that cedar, that leather, a little bit of white pepper still coming through, but nice balance and a nice diverse flavor profile at this point. Citrus is all but gone. That was like a Light Up thing just to tempt me and say, hey, I might be there, but then probably won't be. Now take a look at the wrapper on this with me. The undisclosed Habano hybrid wrapper on this is pretty dark from what I've seen of a lot of Habanos. It typically come a little lighter, but a very, very smooth leaf and a great smooth presentation where I don't see like stems or anything from the binder popping through. A very oily leaf with medium veins and a beautiful triple cap on the top. Everything I've come to expect from Southern Draw for visible construction in a cigar that looks great. And by the way, the banding on this always attracts me to it. There's something about these red colored bands that just sort of draws my eyes. But again, it's flavor on this thing that's going to earn those points. It's giving me a lot of really good stuff right now and not what I had come to sort of hope for in this, which was going to be creaminess in the second third. I'm still not getting that. With that leather note in there, it's a little bit more of a rugged flavor, but medium strength, and I'm enjoying it. Now let's see what holds on of that flavor and how good it is going into the final third. I'll say one more thing. Classic for Southern Draw, really no heat underneath the burn. And that's one thing Robert Holt pointed out to me. He said, filler cigars, they don't really get hot under the burn. And so here, I'm impressed with the construction, impressed with the flavor. Let's jump into the final third and see what kind of score this gets. Coming into the end of this, it's a typical situation for me. First of all, a lot of things that I find as imperfections at the very end of a cigar are lacking here. There's no bitterness, there's no heat about this thing. So the performance is still good, but lots of leather in this flavor now. Leather, cedars behind, other stuff like vanilla is sort of fallen away. And the strength has certainly ratcheted up a bit. For a cigar and for an experience, this was good. And not as good as I remember the Robusto size being, so this might blow my own perception of Toros generally being better than the Robusto, but certainly this thing gave me a nice experience. It lost some points for consistency in the front end, a little bit here at the back, and I had some burn issues I didn't mention a lot, had to touch the thing up a couple of times. My final smoking time on this has been 1 hour and 34 minutes on this Toro size, and my score came out to an even 90. And just from memory, I know the Robusto at least did better than that. So the big deal here is, and what matters is what you guys think of this cigar. So if you've had Southern Draw's Manzanita, please drop a comment and let everybody know what you think of it, because we'll all learn better when we learn together. And check this video out on cigarsdailyplus.com. Thank you all so much for watching. This is Tim signing off for Cigars Daily, and I'll see you in the comments.